So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about foot straps, and it is a general discussion we could have on foot straps, but this is not really what's about. Of course, some people like foot straps more than others, but in this video, we want to talk about this product and what is particularly nifty about it, but it has a safety release mechanism. Yes, you guys got that right. A safety release mechanism from the guys over at VENTORES. So we're checking this out. We're going to go out and we're going to play with it. But first things first. So we are going back to the table and take a closer look at this thing. So first things first, neatly packaged, and it's not only for foiling, it is also for windsurfing and, to my surprise, sailing. But then all the sailors amongst you guys know that some guys, when they really heel over, when they are doing dinghy sailing or maybe even catamaran sailing, you kind of strap in your feet. And we all know it. It sucks when you fall out of your foot straps, or when you're falling actually not out of your foot straps and your foot is caught inside. So the guys over at VENTORES, they came up with a foot strap that actually has a release mechanism. And that mechanism we're going to take first a little bit of a closer look. Then we're going to go out and, of course, wing foiling around on this thing and see how comfortable it is. How does it do? Does it release? I don't really want to fall. Like I try not to fall when I wing foil, so maybe we can figure something out. But for now, let's have a look. Okay, so first things first. This thing coming out of the box, and it is neatly all velcroed and with a good strong material here, kind of like a neoprene. It's got velcros here, so we're going to get all into the details here. This is where you're going to screw your foot straps on the side here, and we're going to have to open up this a little bit, and you see it actually has a holder for a Allen wrench, and we're going to get into this in just a little moment. Here we take this cap off, you have screw holes, and the same thing here, a little bit more hidden, you have the screw holes are in here. So we're going to open this thing up quite a bit, and you'll see this is where the screw holes are. So we're taking this thing apart. So we unpack the Allen wrench, and now we see this mechanism here from the side. And most important is we have this latch here, because you can velcro this thing all the way in, and now it doesn't open up. It can't open. Now here we have now the mechanism, and in here, this is where it's all at. This is the release mechanism here. So we have a lever, you push this in, and then this comes apart. And then those, of course, are strapped to the board, and you are now falling, this thing can come apart. And to put it back in, you shove this thing back in, and this is a little bit of a tricky part, needs explanation, but they have a really good product documentation. You lift the lever up in the middle and push the thing in, and this will go in. And now it is locked back in place. And why do we have an Allen wrench? Well, the Allen wrench is here, so we can actually adjust the hardness. Like, how fast does this thing release? Will it release right away, or are we going to give it a little bit more of a hard, like more weight is needed? So we can adjust the weight here, or the pull force basically, that can be adjusted. When does this thing give and when does it not give? So that's the basic idea behind to have a foot strap with a release mechanism based on the force of impact, and you can adjust the sensitivity to that impact. How quickly should this release or not? So now we get the basic gist and idea, and of course it is time to go and try this thing outside. All right, and we're at the beach or in the parking lot trying to put those foot straps on, and it is actually a little bit finagly, to be honest with you guys. Foot straps is a little bit finagly here because you get these caps. So you get that cap that goes over that strap, and I show this to you guys right here, right now. So when you screw this thing on, you kind of have to play with this here, and you have to put the screw through, pull this back with one hand, and then the same thing over here. And we're gonna put the second one on. I don't think it's gonna be conditions today to go out there. I already got my feet inside, so they feel a-okay, comfortable, I have to say. So yeah, not bad with the foot straps. And I feel comfortable the more I push my foot in. Actually, I got it right, so my toesies look out. I'm kind of pulling up with my top of the foot, and so far this thing is not giving. So we're gonna try a little bit with the Allen wrench and see how this is gonna come through with that release. Playing around with this for a little bit, I think now I actually found a setting for my foot that is rather light, but at least I can demonstrate to you guys how this thing pops. I left the Velcro open for you guys to see how this all works. Like you're sailing and your foot kind of like pops like this, and then this thing opens up. So now you're in the water, and we're gonna try to show you guys how this thing goes back in. Or I'm gonna try to hold this here. And you come down, you have to push that little red latch down, feed this in, and just with both your fingers push one up and down, and now it's locked back in. So easy to do. I just can't seem to find the right setting for this thing, so that's a little tricky one, but I'm working on it, and we're gonna sail this thing. It feels comfortable about the popping part. I'm still a little scared about letting this thing pop out there, because if one pops and the other one not, so we'll see. I'm playing around with this. So here is where you make this harder. So I'm gonna give this thing a few cranks more and see what happens now. A few more cranks, see what happens. And I'm already having a hard time popping this thing open, as you can see. I'm really twisting it. No, it's not giving. So a few cranks back, let's see. So those were about 2.5 rotations. Okay, so that seems to be kind of like the sweet spot. So before you use this product, you want to try to find the sweet spot. Conditions out there not really good to go out with a camera, so we're just gonna wait a second for better conditions, and we're gonna sail those foot straps for you guys. After sailing the other day, I really felt like the straps were a little bit too small, so I was really stoked. I was able to do a little size adjustment, and you can see in the video here you have all these Velcro. You're just gonna undo all of that until they come completely apart, and then just find your sweet spot. And now it feels actually really way more comfortable. I just stick my feet in, and now we're gonna go out and sail around with this thing, show you guys how it goes out there, and then we are gonna conclude this whole thing. The foot straps, definitely very nice quality, super happy with them. Sailing around, as you guys seen, no issues. I found the right size, so I'm stoked on that. It was very comfortable on my feet, comfortable to sail, even getting a little air, jumping up a little bit. I mean, I'm no talent when it comes to that, but jumping up and here and there, kind of fun too. That was comfortable. That held my feet on the board really well. So good stuff with all of that. Quality product once again. The one thing I have to admit to you guys is, and I gotta be honest here, I'm just too scared to purposely eat it and fail and fall, and then to find out how both foot straps open or how only one opens. I'm just a little bit too scared for that, you guys, so I apologize. I did not demonstrate that. Maybe when I keep sailing around with it, accidentally it will happen and we'll post another video. But for now, I just like to keep my foil experience on the safe side and just try not to fall. Having dry runs is kind of the goal. And another goal, of course, is to see you guys in the next video.